Joining us now for more is ABC News contributor and retired General Robert Abrams. General Abrams was an advisor to former U.S. Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel during the last invasion of Ukraine, and more recently was the head of U.S. forces in Korea. Thank you so much for your time tonight, General. It appears that we are closer than ever before to war in Ukraine, that Russia is. As I just mentioned, you dealt with the last invasion in Ukraine. Is there a key sign that in your mind tells you, okay, they are definitely going in, no turning back at this point?
Linsey, I think the most telltale sign you heard mentioned earlier by Ian, of course, is the preposition of field hospitals, blood supplies. And as Martha mentioned, they've moved very close to the border. And, you know, not 15 minutes ago, I heard a report that Russia has closed the airspace over eastern Ukraine. That's probably the final warning that a ground invasion of Ukraine by a large Russian force is imminent in the next couple of hours.
Does the Russian military have the capability and manpower to take control of all of Ukraine, or do you think that they have something else in mind?
Well, I think they have something else in mind, something akin to what Martha mentioned, and that's to do this operation in phases or stages. I don't think they'll make an all-out run to try to secure all of Ukraine. They're gonna try to eat this elephant one bite at a time. And we'll most likely see initial phases to take a portion of eastern Ukraine, perhaps to the Dnieper River, but certainly that with fixing attacks or limited objective attacks from other directions to keep those Ukrainian forces in other regions pinned down so that Russia can maintain their numerical superiority at the point where they want to penetrate into Ukraine.
And do you think that the Ukrainian military, are they formidable foes? How do you think that they're going to square up compared to the Russian military?
Well, I think that, you know, they've got a very strong military. They've got a lot of combat experience over the last 8 years. This is not the Ukrainian military of 2014. And I think in some regards that perhaps Russia is underestimating the training, the equipping, and the resolve of the Ukrainian military, and they will put up a fight. They are well equipped, but as mentioned by Martha and others, they are outnumbered, and they're outnumbered in a couple of key areas, specifically in surface-to-surface missiles and artillery and in aircraft, combat aircraft. And so from the Russians' perspective, right, quantity has a quality all to itself, and Russia will have numerical superiority.
Some are saying that this conflict could be at the same level as World War II. Do you share that opinion?
I think we're about to see death, destruction, massive death and destruction that we have not seen in a long, long time, perhaps going back to World War II on the European continent. Russia's military has long been what I like to characterize as a bull in a china closet. They will come in without any regard for civilian casualties or destruction of urban centers, and they are bent on destroying as much as they can to achieve their outcome.
If there's any aspect of this that keeps you up at night, what is it?
Well, I think it's the human toll on the Ukrainian people. This is not a war that they sought. This is not what anybody wanted. And they will ultimately be the ones that suffer the most. And it's heartbreaking. And we've heard many, many stories already. But the Ukrainian people, that's the thing that keeps me up at night. There'll be a lot of civilian casualties and displaced civilians and refugees that frankly deserve a better life. And they have chosen to not lead a Russian life. They want to lead a Ukrainian life. And that's about to be taken from them.
And we do have reports on the ground that the Russian military has gone to the command center. It's, of course, in the middle of the night, about 3 o'clock in Ukraine. Is it your belief that this will happen within the next few hours?
I think we're seeing all the indicators, Linsey, that this is going to happen here in the next couple of hours. I checked the weather. It's not great, but as I like to tell people, weather cuts both ways. You can't always choose the best weather conditions, and it's bad for the defender as it is for the attacker.
General Abrams, we thank you so much for your time and insight.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.